Hey lovers, Anthea here. So I wanted to do an energy reading because I was feeling that there was quite a lot of heaviness moving through the collective at the moment, especially sadness, and a lot of waves of sadness and grief around things and people that we thought we had recovered from. And it's been quite intense because it's almost like it's just happening now. It's almost like even though we're going through, let's say you're grieving and you thought you got over it or you had healed from it, and you're coming to another layer of it, and you thought that you had grieved from it, what's actually happening is you're coming to a deeper layer of it in a more conscious way with more of an opportunity to heal even more. Okay, and it's really rough. It's really rough right now, right? So I really felt drawn to come in and do a bit of a reading for you guys. So, wow. Okay, so I'm just going to get my cards organised and see what comes out. I really feel like right now, as I tune in, what I'm seeing and what I'm sensing is right now is a really great time to reinvent yourself, right? The energy is so crisp for transformation, right? It's almost like that, whoa, there's cards flying out everywhere. Okay. It's almost like, you know how we battle between the ego? We battle between the ego and the heart, right? And sometimes our ego is especially towards other people, our ego can be like, fine then, whatever, leave my life, I deserve better, right? The ego can be quite wounded and reactive, and it can mask the heart, and it can be really hard to know when that's happening. Like it takes a highly evolved person, right? A highly evolved person to be able to recognize when they are in that, and when they are closing their heart off, and when they are protecting their heart. And it's something that we all struggle with, right? Even highly evolved people. Just getting a bit of a story happening here, so just be patient with me for a sec. It's interesting because I'm pulling out these Archetype cards by Caroline Myss, and the first one that came out was this one, right? It's blank. So you can write up your own, right? It's blank, see? That's why I said it's right now. If there is a part of you that you don't like, if you don't like your physical body, or you don't like a part of your personality, or you don't like your hair color, or you don't like whatever it is, the way you talk, now is the time now is a really great time, is an invitation to actually begin to transform that. And you know what? Seek out professional help. If you need a personal trainer, get that. If you need a life coach, get that, right? Get that support that you need. Create a plan where you can't fail, a plan that will not fail, right? Do everything in your power to make that transformation a success, because it's really going to help you let go of the wounded ego. It's really going to help you dissolve that part of you that sabotages the heart, that sabotages opening your heart even more, right? Opening your heart even more to love. Wow. Now is the time of grieving. This is what I'm seeing here. So we had, Venus in retrograde, and it went direct yesterday or the day before. And a lot of us have been feeling the need to rest because we've been physically paralyzed. But not only that, we have grief in here, and we also have suppressed grief. Okay? And you know, when you're grieving, what happens is when something happens, look, when you lose someone and that part of you is severed, that part of you that was with that person, your body goes into a state of shock. Because if your body allowed you to feel all the grief that you were going to feel over the coming months, you would probably have a heart attack. You wouldn't be able to cope with that much grief. And so your body withholds the grief, puts you in a state of shock so you don't feel it all. And as the shock slowly wears off over months, you begin to feel this grief surfacing and being released. And it's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal. I feel like if you were dealing with a person, if you're grieving a person, I'm going to just pull some more cards around this. If you were grieving a person, this relationship needed to come to an end so that you could heal your wounded ego. I want you to think about it like this. If I had stayed in that relationship the way that it was, I would have ended up in a situation that I've been in before, where I was giving my power away, even though you already did give your power away in that relationship. Yeah. You would have, the other person also needed time and space to grow and step into the king, whether that's a man or a woman. You know, women step into their king energy too. So whoever it was that you split from also had to grow and heal. And I never really like to predict people coming together, but if you're dealing with a twin flame, and I feel like this is a twin flame reading, it's turning into one anyway, I wasn't intending it to. If you're dealing with a twin flame, with your twin flame, you can have never-ending beginnings. Often twin flames, when they come together in this life, they want to stay in each other's lives, whether it's romantically or friendships. And sometimes it can be really hard to stay in each other's lives as a friend. But there's this deep connection, whether you connect in the 3D or the 5D, there's this deep connection that cannot be broken. And so the cards here are suggesting that there could be some communication, there could be some union of some kind. But you both have an opportunity right now. You've both been, wow. Okay, I'm just going to show you these, because these all came out together, right? Look at these cards. You've both been clearing your mental turmoil. You've both been clearing your wounded ego. You've both been clearing your abandonment wounds and your avoidance wounds. Look at these cards. Look how intense they are, right? So this is, you know, like when you work through your stuff, when you sit in your stuff and you heal your grief and you work through your pain and you become, you know what happens in the twin flame relationship? When you go into separation, you both become aware of your toxic traits. How you behaved in the connection, it replays in your mind. Now, what I want you to remember is that you did nothing wrong. You loved. And even if you showed up in your shadow, it was all playing out for a reason. It was all playing out on purpose for your growth and for their growth. Because essentially you guys are mirrors. Yeah? Now, what's important, and we do this, right, when we get into these dynamics, is we tend to lose ourselves a little bit in that connection. So it's really important for you to start taking your power back. With twin flames, they return when you are in your power, because that's when they're attracted to you. They don't return when you're in your wounds, right? They can't handle your darkness because they haven't healed their own. And even when they heal their own darkness, they don't want to connect with you through darkness. They want to connect with you through you being in your power. So this is why, you know, everyone says when you are in separation, do the inner work on yourself. Go within. Okay. There's a lot of, this is really beautiful because there's a lot of angel cards in here, okay? There's a lot of angel cards. And so every morning, this is a really beautiful practice, okay? Every morning when you wake up, it's really important to connect to your guides or God or Jesus or Mother Mary or Merlin or Metatron, Archangel Metatron or Michael or Raphael, whoever you believe in, whoever you feel really connected to, right? Lady Portia, the goddess Aphrodite or Athena or whoever you are connected to, connect to your guides and speak to them and ask them for support. So these cards are suggesting that you ask for guidance. And you know, when you ask for guidance, ask to be shown what your inner work is so you can become a more empowered being. Because when you become a more empowered being, that's when you have full control over your life. That's where you can really become the master manifester of your own reality, right? So the archetype card that came out here is the clown archetype, which is really interesting. And it says, light attributes, fearlessly revealing emotions, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. So they're the light attributes, right? Now the shadow attributes are using humour to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So it can be sarcasm, right? So this is just an invitation for you to look at how you show up in the light or the shadow attributes of the clown and to look at how that's serving you. So everything serves us in a negative or a positive way. Wow. So I feel like this connection, wow. I feel like, okay, I'm just going to move these cards to the side because we're getting kind of a bit of a deeper story here. It's like, wow, it's like the cards are taking me back in time, okay? So there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love here. This is what I'm seeing. There is so much love in these cards. And what I feel is that when you were with this person, that you felt the love of 1,000 hearts. Now what happens is that your twin not only activates an opening of your heart in this lifetime. With twins, you've shared many lifetimes together. That's what I believe, right? So they activate the love from all of the other lifetimes that you've shared. And that's why you come alive. You feel vibrant. You feel all of this beauty between you. And often what happens is they help you fall in love with yourself as well, because they love and accept you as you are, right? And I feel like you guys are going through a cycle at the moment. So the numbers 17, 6 and 33 here. I don't know if they're relevant, but the 3 has shown up a few times here in this reading. You're going through a cycle at the moment. Look at this card. Look at the way he's holding her. And the way she's holding him. The way she's playing with his hair. So there's a lot of fire in this. A lot of fire and sexual energy in this connection. And sometimes that can be really, really intense, right? And sometimes this is why we go into separation, because we need time to process that. Sexual energy is very healing energy. And it can activate a deep healing. It can activate the shadow to come up and the wounded ego to come up and be like, this is too intense. I'm out. I need a time out. I need space. Okay, let's just get a few more cards from here because they're really beautiful. So challenging to learn how to live without the person who activated that deep love, because when they disappear, or if you disappeared, it activates deep grief. And deep grief is not just from this lifetime. Like I said, it's from all the other lifetimes too, okay? Now, you or them went into self-sabotage. And I feel like the other person, maybe it was you or the other person, it's not that they were dishonest, it's just that they didn't necessarily say what they meant, because I think they didn't want to hurt you, because they actually value you. They actually really adore and love you. And I think they didn't want to say what they really meant, because they didn't want it to come across as harsh or cold or brutal, right? Look at where you sabotage. Numbers 18, 2 and 10 are here. Look at where you sabotage, and during the next full moon, write a letter to release your sabotage programs and burn it. Because you're actually gonna release it, and it's gonna bring about a lot of wisdom. So there's a few owls in these cards. Pay attention to the signs. So the signs that you're seeing, even if you don't understand them, pay attention to them. They're trying to reveal something to you. They're trying to show you something really, really important. Let's get some outcome cards here. Some advice cards. Both of you have the rejection wound, right? So it's really important that you continue to heal that rejection wound. And I feel like if you come back together, when you come back together, that, yeah, wow. So you got some really positive cards coming out here, right? When you guys come back together, you're going to go through another cycle. But what's important is that I feel like the coming together is different this time. It's more evolved, it's more mature. And even though there's more to heal and release, there is a really beautiful opportunity to lean into each other this time instead of running away. What I want you to think about, if you find yourself in this dynamic, whether you're with a twin flame or with just a lover or a husband or wife, whatever it is, when the person pulls away, let them go. Don't fight it, don't resist it, don't question them, don't give them space to go, give them the freedom to go, which they will. They're going to grow and they'll come back when they're ready. So remain unattached to them, remain unattached to the outcome, and continue to heal your own stuff. Because what I see coming is to really, the outcome here, or there is going to be this growth and this independence that comes through. I don't know if the numbers 1919 mean anything to anyone, but I just saw them. This connection is going to help you really grow and step into an even more empowered, conscious, evolved person. So allow it to do that. Don't fight it. Don't force it. Don't try to control it. You will go on this new journey with this person, or okay, Ten of Pentacles, happy outcomes, right? But here's the thing. The thing is that, yeah, they love you. They think you're a star. You're like everything to them. Nobody compares to you. And they know that. They know they've been looking, but no one compares to them. Okay, here's the thing. The thing is that you are going to become really empowered, even more than now. And you're also going to actually figure out how to play with energy in a really powerful way. And when you learn how to play with energy, then everything is going to unfold before you. And yeah, there's going to be a little bit more heaviness to release, but as you do that, you're going to become the Hanged Man. And I feel like they're going to become the King of Swords. Now, if you look at the Hanged Man just is an observer, just goes with the flow, isn't necessarily waiting, but also isn't chasing, and is really comfortable there, right? And if you look at the King of Swords, this time apart has really given them the opportunity to step into the King energy, to dissolve their wounded ego, to really be able to show up in a different way, a more evolved way. Let me just get some affirmation cards. Some connections will never ever be broken. And what I mean by that is that even though you may not be together in this physical time, like together, it doesn't mean that you can't come back together later, because in the twin flame relationship, this is one of my twin flame cards. Okay, this is all about never-ending beginnings, which means if you are open to it, every time you pull away and you heal and you evolve, there's an opportunity to come back together with them again and start a new chapter, whether that's romantically, as friends, or something else, okay? So if you can allow that to excite you rather than deflate you, the universe will show you in what way you need to come together. So the affirmation cards are: my love is my north and it guides me. In this moment, I feel complete. So this is really encouraging you to fill your own cup, to really look at what you wanted them, how you wanted them to show up in your world, in your life, and actually fill your own cup. Because then you don't need anything from them, and when they come back, it's just a bonus, right? I am the most important person in the universe. So this is all about your self-concept and how you show up in the world and how important you feel you are. Now remember, your self-concept is really important. If you have a positive self-concept and you're like, I'm important, I'm loved, I'm chosen, and you feel those things, that's when people do choose you. That's when people do love you. So you need to go through and work through any blocks that you may have, that or any negative thoughts about yourself. Because ultimately the twin flame relationship is here to teach you how to love and accept all of who you are, how to love yourself unconditionally. And if you have blocks around your self-love, if there are gaps in your self-love, it's your job to fix it, to heal it, to change it. Yeah, so that you can move forward as two empowered human beings. So guys, I hope that this video has helped you in some way. If you'd like to book a private reading, you can click on the link in the information section of this video. And if this video has helped you in some way, please share it with somebody else. Share it with another twin flame. Yeah. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you next time.